Hey guys, it's Crystal with Army Wife 101. I'm doing a video. Are you shocked? Anyway, I'm on my timeline this morning and I'm, scrolling on Facebook and I see a post about Gabrielle Sidibe. If you're not familiar with her, she's an African American actress. She's famous for her role in the movie Precious. Um, and she's a very big girl. I think she's pretty. I could totally commend her in this world of making it in Hollywood, where we know like the standard is one way, and for you to be like so not the standard. Well, what Hollywood society says is the standard is like commendable. Anyway, of course she went to the Golden Globes. She wore a gown. The hate messages and the tweets and the talking starts coming in about how she looks. She's a big girl. You can only hide but so much. I'm a big girl. I can only hide but so much. She looked great though. Well, she responded back to her critics with something, and I'm paraphrasing. It was a tweet, something to the effect of like, yeah, I certainly did cry on that private jet plane all the way to my dream job. And that was her comeback. And it was a simple comeback, but it was a comeback. And it was basically just stating like, hey, yeah, I'm fat, so what? And look what I do for a living. And some people might say, well, that's bragging. No, sometimes critics, ignorant, small-minded people have to be acknowledged. And that's why I'm on here this morning. If you're a reader of mine, I've been blogging for 4 years. You've heard me complain about people because I had to get used to the fact that, hey, I came and I just started this blog to like talk to other military wives, and then before I know it, I'm getting like attacked for like no reason at all. When I write controversial pieces, things like that, I expect it. But when I haven't blogged in 5 days, as is the case was yesterday, I'm like, damn, what the hell? Like, what did I do? And I got an inbox from a reader, and they're like, hey, I just want to let you know you're being like attacked and judged and talked about. And I think it's like really effed up and, on this particular page. And I was like, okay. I could sit here and lie and say, oh, well, I'm a professional and I didn't go and look. No, I went and looked. Nosy. I just want to know. Because in my mind, I wanted to know, like, if it was about something, like, really big or political or whatever, I'd be like, okay, well, it's probably about this. But I was like, what in the world could they be talking about me about now? I haven't, like, even done a video in months. I haven't written anything in a week on my blog because I have so much other stuff I'm doing. So it was about a blog post from like 2 years ago that evidently all the twat buckets and like idiots that was talking about it like hadn't watched because it was so not what they were saying. But I noticed that people in comments, they'll go and they'll form their opinion based on the comments above. They won't watch the content. They'll just form an opinion, not realizing how much of an idiot you look like because it's like evident that you didn't read, but you want to talk about other people. So, I'm making this video before I title this blog post, but I think I'm going to title it Why I'm Not a Dependapotamus. But here's the thing. I'm like, first off, like I've said a million times before, that word is so whack. Like, it's corny as hell. Like, can we please, it's 2014, can we get a new word? Really? And not only that, like, I'm just so tired of like this coined crap about military wives. Like, you don't know nobody else's situation. I'm so sick of people thinking they know everything, that every wife stays home and sits on their butt and don't cook, don't clean, don't do that. Hell, in every part of life outside the military, you have people, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends who do this crap. Don't come and say you don't want the military stereotype, but we're making our own stereotypes. It makes no sense. So I had to laugh because I've said this a million times again, and I always have my friends, they're like, Crystal, you don't have to respond to that. You should do this. You know what? I get tired of always being the bigger person. Blogging is about really just being authentic and being who you are, and the real me responds and doesn't shut the hell up sometime. And for, like I said, for all the times that I do moan and whine about like, oh, I'm so tired of people saying things about me, there's a million other times that I'd never say anything to you because most of the time I just ignore it. But it's like, let me tell you why you're dumb. And I'm not talking to those of you who are not like small-minded people or ignorant. I'm talking to the ignorant people that are just dumb and have nothing to do. They talk about me not having nothing to do and how I just yap. However, they're always on my freaking blog stalking me, making remarks, posting it on these stupid pages that you're not getting paid for, by the way. And yet I'm the one that like is whack and has no life. So let me just tell you. And when I said why I'm not a dependent pilot, I'm not classifying any other military wife as that. I'm just saying since there's a definition of lazy, fat, bonbon eating wife behind that word, let me just tell you why I'm not. Let me school you. 4 years ago, I was in the middle of a PCS to Hawaii. I had got a brand new camera that, my husband had bought me at the time. And I was bored and I started making these videos. I was already like a YouTube fanatic. I love the idea of talking, as you can see. And I was like, oh, I need a place to put these videos. So I created this blog. Fast forward to years go by. And before I know it, this blog starts blowing up. Because I'm not like the typical, like, fashion blog or a food blog or something like that. I'm in a niche that's like really small. And people are always looking for like somebody that can relate to them in this niche, which is the military life. I start gaining all these readers. I hate the word fans, but I start getting all these readers. Okay, I'm going to try to make this short. And I start getting all these readers. And before I know it, I'm getting jobs and offers to write. I start making money off my blog, which is why you look stupid. Because here's the thing. When you post my stuff, and I'm just going to put it out there, because if you're a blogger or if you want to become one, this is how you make money anyway. But one of the ways is you have ads on your blog. So every time somebody just even comes and reads, you're going to get paid for that. And I'm upfront and honest about that. So when yesterday I looked at my stats and they were like triple what they should be because I haven't wrote in 5 days, guess what? That came from you morons that sent all these people to my blog. Dumb. That's number one. Number two is, for me to be such a dependapotamus, let's see. Let me just give you my resume. And you can Google me, by the way. It's Crystal Spell. Google me. Number 1 on the page. Thanks. Let's see. I'm VP of Marketing and Branding for a company owned by military spouses. We've worked on huge campaigns with Oral-B, Dove, Wall. That's just to name a few. I've interviewed the former Joint Chief of Staff's wife. I've interviewed the cast or part of the cast of Steel Magnolias on Lifetime. I worked for Lifetime. I've interviewed the entire cast of Army Wives. I had the chance to meet the First Lady, but guess what? I didn't get to meet her, so who did I send? My kids and my husband. I've went on cruises where I had VIP access. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, I spoke on behalf of Lifetime TV for Tori Johnson's Spark and Hustle. Google it. A year before that, I was like, oh, I wonder how people even get to speak for something like that. A year later, I was asked to speak at it. I've been on a news show where I was weekly. I've had a news crew, HLN headline, CNN, Google it, come and follow me around for the day with my boring life. Follow me to the mall. I've had my own video done. I've been on a show. I've been on MSNBC. Please tell me. Oh, I write for She Knows. I write for various outlets. I've done videos for Lifetime. I'd really, really love to know how I'm a dependapotamus. Oh, and since dependapotamus usually has to do with wives not working, let me just fill you in. I make more than my husband. Yeah. So, how am I a dependapotamus? I don't know. But this is what I do wish. I wish that you would research and really, really take heed or take heed to what I say and really realize that if you're spending all your time online downing other people, you're taking away from all the time that you could be using to build yourself up and become something, which obviously you're not, because you have too much time to be on Facebook looking up people like me. At least I pretty much get paid for being on Facebook. Yeah. But that's me, the dependapotamus. People, like, get your life, seriously. It's frustrating. There's so many wives out here who, so what, they stay at home. You have people who are raising, handicapped children. I mean, that's like a big task. You have wives who run businesses from home. They're dealing with deployments. They're running businesses. They're dealing with maybe sick kids, other issues. How dare you stereotype somebody? You who goes through this lifestyle, you whose husband has been possibly deployed before and knows the worries and the drama that people go through. And what bothers me even more is if you really sat to read my goddamn blog, Lord forgive me, I did not mean to say goddamn. If you really sat to read my damn blog, you would know that I'm probably one of the coolest chicks because I've made it very clear that I'm not a New York Times writer. I don't always use the best grammar. You see that? I'm from Long Island, New York. I'm not politically correct all the time. And I usually am like the pretty easygoing person. Like I don't always, I'm not like some big, like news source working with, I have to be like all politically correct. Like Crystal is Crystal. The funny thing is there's so many posts that I've written that people will just read the title, and if they were smart, which they're not, they would know that even Yahoo does the same thing. You always want to put a catchy title. That's why most people read it. But obviously that doesn't work because people read the title and they don't read the post. And then the same thing they're downing me for is what I actually said in the post. But you wouldn't know because your dumbass didn't read it. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's 2014 and there is no more of me just sitting back because I set out to do something. Not originally. I set out because I was bored and I needed a hobby. But initially, like after a year into it, I had made it like my mission that I was going to somehow motivate other women to start their own businesses and realize like you don't need no big thousands of dollars to do it. You don't need some fancy education, not to knock that, to do it. You can like do it from your home because one thing we do have if we stay home is a little bit of time. And the time that we do have, I feel like it should be put to good use. Something that the morons should do too. Hopefully, maybe they'll make something of themselves. So some people might not like this video. Some people might think like, okay, Crystal, like, really? No, it's 2014. I've come a long way. I've been blogging for 4 years. I have made it to where I want to be. I'm going to be 32 years old. There's no more just sitting back and, oh, well, I'm not going to say anything. No, because I made it too damn far not to say anything. And I'm willing to help those who want help. So it's not me being, a stuck up snob. It's just me telling you like it is. Anyway, I am crystalnicole.com launching in the next week or so. That's the real Crystal. I still have to be a little bit reserved on Army Wife 101, but not on IamCrystalnicole.com. Google me.